Ladies and gentlemen, AEW has finally dropped a major announcement, and it's something that I've been talking about a lot on this channel, something that I've been hoping for. I was hoping that the people at AEW would listen because it's not only a great strategy, but it's one that makes the most sense if you are trying to build a brand long term. And that is why I am so excited about this huge announcement. In addition to that, though, WWE is forcing a major change to AEW yet again, but this is a good one and one that I'm glad that they are in fact doing. And also, we got some news on WWE 2K. So I think first and foremost, we should actually start off with 2K25. The game is selling well, but we got to talk about something a little bit more important than that, and that is the release of WWE 2K25 coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. Today was the groundbreaking reveal by Nintendo. We know what the console looks like, but now we know all the features and all the specs, and the Nintendo Switch 2 is confirmed to be a much more powerful system than before, and now they are bringing in WWE 2K25 when the console gets revealed. Not only that, but NBA 2K will follow suit. Now, the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because AEW Fight Forever was on the original Switch. WWE 2K24 was not. And AEW Fight Forever, I actually own it for PC and I own it for Nintendo Switch. And the thing about Fight Forever is that it's a very fun game, but of course, it's not that powerful of a game. That does lack some features. And it's, the jury is still out on that, but I think for the most part, a lot of people who own Nintendo Switches were hopeful that WWE would eventually come to the Switch. And now we know it is coming to the next generation Switch console, which obviously is great news for WWE because this ultimately means that WWE will in fact have the one thing that they need, which is more sales, more money. And I say they need it, but I'm obviously being sarcastic. WWE is incredibly rich. 2K is incredibly rich. I don't think they really need any more money. But my point that I'm making is that now that they're going to be selling the game on the Switch 2, and it's a much more powerful console, whether you're playing handheld or on the dock, the fact that you could have that WWE 2K experience is going to be really awesome because that is a whole platform that WWE and 2K have ignored for the last few years. And so now by having them drop the game on the Switch 2 does equate to more money, but it also equates to many more happy fans because now they have the ability to play the game. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about that. I hope AEW drops another video game and then we'll also get that on all consoles because I think more wrestling video games, the better. And obviously, we all know that.
Now would be the best time to remind you that we have a major goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. Over 40% of the viewers who watch this channel are not subscribed. Please click subscribe if you enjoy staying educated on everything with wrestling news.
Okay, and that brings us to our next topic, ladies and gentlemen. AEW is being forced to make a major change yet again because of the WWE. However, this time, I think it actually benefits AEW even more. Like, I am so glad that they are actually making this change. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I think this kind of change is the one that is absolutely needed. So for those who don't know, AEW All In takes place on a Saturday, and it was originally scheduled to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, July 12th, 2025. Now today, AEW All In Texas will now kick off at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 p.m. local time in Arlington, Texas. The Dallas Morning News broke the story confirming that WWE's Saturday night's main event is causing AEW to pivot, which, as you guys know, Saturday night's main event will be taking place at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is obviously great news for AEW, but it's also great news for WWE. And quite frankly, I'm actually really happy about this. I don't want to be forced to watch Saturday night's main event over AEW All In. I'm just being honest. I don't want to be forced to watch AEW All In over Saturday night's main event. So now AEW's decision to change their times is very interesting and it's very bold, but I think it's actually the right move. Instead of going head to head with WWE, who is trying to counter program them, they are now going to reap the benefit all on their own because obviously people will choose them because they're not conflicted by having to choose between two different products. But also at the same time too, this move does benefit WWE because now WWE actually has everybody watching Saturday night's main event without having to choose between Saturday night's main event and AEW All In. So listen, I think this move kind of scared AEW a little bit, but also at the same time too, it's the right move. It's the move that you should be making. If you see that your competitors are trying to counter program you, go a little bit earlier, which by the way, that Saturday, July 12th, it's not the holiday weekend. It's not the July 4th weekend. So the good news is people who are already tired from being out, you turn on AEW All In at 3 p.m., you hang out for a couple hours and boom, next thing you know, Saturday night's main event is on and you just enjoyed an entire day of pro wrestling. I actually think this is really cool. I'm glad that, AEW was able to do it. It was a major statement for WWE to try and counter program them, but also at the same time too, you want to maximize all of your potential pay-per-view buys, which All In is rumored to be on the Max streaming service. Hopefully that does happen, but you want to maximize as much as possible. Clearly WWE is a major threat. Don't even entertain the idea, and I think a lot of people will be happy about going to an earlier pay-per-view or watching an earlier pay-per-view. So all in all, really excited about that massive change for AEW All In, regardless of the competitiveness. That brings us to our next topic, though. AEW All In, major announcement. This one is super exciting to me because, as you guys know, I have been talking about this for a long time. I have been talking about AEW needing to make a change here. And now, finally, All In Texas begins the extravaganza. It's the All In Texas week, July 9th through the 12th. Wednesday at 7 p.m., you're going to get AEW Dynamite at the Curtis Caldwell Center. On Thursday, 7 p.m., at the Curtis Caldwell Center, you're going to get AEW Collision. Friday and Saturday, StarCast Texas is taking place at the Sheraton Arlington Hotel. And that's obviously in Arlington, Texas. And then the big one that I've been talking about, guys, Friday, 7 p.m. at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, AEW and Ring of Honor return for the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. And then Saturday at 3 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, AEW All In. So obviously I'm excited about this for a variety of reasons because I have been saying for a long time, you need to turn All In weekend into a WrestleMania weekend for your company. And it's very clear that AEW, if they keep doing this as tradition every single year, it is the equivalent of like ROH Death Before Dishonor is the equivalent of NXT Stand and Deliver. Obviously StarCast is like the same thing as WWE doing the Fanatics thing. There's signings and there's appearances and a whole bunch of other stuff happening there. And then obviously having Dynamite and Collision, it just makes a lot of sense. This is really cool. Obviously for a lot of fans, they're going to enjoy this. And it makes sense, AEW not participating during WrestleMania week, but creating their own WrestleMania weekend is the right move. And I think I am very, very excited about that. So obviously you can let me know what you guys think. And I just realized I say obviously a lot. My apologies. If you guys want more videos, you know what to do. Go ahead and click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time right here on The Ango Show.